welcome to the shed. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to reprofile the bevel on a standard camp hatchet like this to make it more like the Scandi-Grind on my carving axe. Hope you enjoy. This is actually a really good candidate for it because it's got quite a nice sort of flat bit, which is very similar to sort of the angle here. So you don't want them to be too wide, which some of them are. So this one is actually a really good candidate. You can adjust them on other ones. It's just easier where it's flatter because you have to remove less material to sort of get that sort of flatter, more 25-30 degree sort of bevel. It sits a little bit flatter and wider. When I'm reprofiling, I like to file towards the axe, so I'm filing towards the cutting edge. So you got to be careful. It's just easier, in my opinion, to line up the file to actually remove the bulk on the back. So you can see how wide the bevel is on this. Let me grab a quick ruler. So that is about 12 to 13 millimeters. It varies a little bit. So that's sort of how far we want to come in from the cutting edge. Mark that fairly roughly here. So that's sort of trying to mark it with the arc. I mean, you don't have to be an artist, and so we're going to actually black everything back here. This is good to get you started because you can sort of initiate everything. So I'm taking it right down to the cutting edge because the idea is we are angling from this point right here up to here. So we want that flat from this point. So we're taking mostly this big hump here that sits on the front there to split the timber, sort of like this bulbous part. So that's where the material's coming off. So you want to choose your most aggressive file. And you want to start now. I'm actually going to clamp the handle here because it's moving. So just a little F clamp here. My piece of wood's not moving, it's just the handle on top of it. Alright, so you can see I've started working this area here. Let me just twist this around a little bit. There we go. It's a little bit better for you. So, this was my bastard file, as I said, and I've just started working this hump here. So I'm not touching back here because once we've got this lump out here, we can then angle it back here because we don't really need to remove any material back here, we just need the bevel to meet back here. So I'm working on this front edge up to the bevel. Now if you have diamond sharpening plates, I'll just grab one. You can actually use them for this as well. The main reason I don't really like using this is I can't actually see what I'm doing. But it does allow you to sort of get a flatter reference because it's over a wider area. So if we look at this, you can see I'm slowly working. I'm going to leave just a little bit of that there. But you can see how we're flattening it out and we're starting to take that wider, flatter shape that we've got here. But it is a little bit of a slow process with the file, so you just got to take your time. If you look here, we can see how we're starting to flatten that little bulbous piece out there. So once I've done this side, I'll flip over and do the same on the other side. So let me just quickly do that on both sides so you don't have to sit through me doing this for an hour or two. And I'll get back to you once we've got it to that stage essentially on both sides, and then I'll show you how we fettle that in to the back of the bevel. It's pretty simple stuff here, folks. So I switched over to some 240 grit sandpaper just on what I had here was a piece of Tasmanian oak. I didn't have any plywood cut, so I just used this. Here's that line that's still there. I just keep putting it back in because I keep knocking it off slightly. It's important to sort of keep your reference. What we're trying to do is now match this angle through to that line. So I've still got a high spot, I know that. Now I'm not too worried if it has a slight curving to it, because my Granford Brooks, that's what that has. But for the most part I'm trying to get it flat here. So I'm going to swing this back around, I'm going to flip back to the other side. I don't want to do too much on one side at a time, I kind of want to get it as even as I can. So I've done enough on this side, so we're going to flip back to the other side. You can still see on here there's a little bit of the bulge here, so that's got to be flattened out. We've just come to the point in the middle here, so I'm more concentrating on these outside edges, but I do still need to refine it to the center just a little bit more. So you can see we've now sort of reprofiled it similar to this. It was never going to be 100% the same as this, but we've definitely got a much flatter, wider bevel than we had before. So we could do these fine. Works like this. And now we can sort of do these shaving movements, which we struggled with the other axe. So let me just grab the other one. So this is a hatchet, and this is what we had issues. Like you can, it sort of works, but you've got to really watch the angle, and it makes it much more difficult versus this one. And we can get these shaving cuts that we just couldn't do before. And these nice, easy break cuts. It's just working a lot better than it did before. So there you have it, folks. I hope that successfully shows you how to reprofile your bevel on your camping hatchet like this one here to convert it to be more like the Granford Brooks carving axe and operate probably about 70% the same as that Granford Brooks without the huge price tag. So if you like this video, please do like and subscribe down below. And while you're down there, do sound off in the comments. Have you done this sort of work? Do you use files? Do you use sandpaper? As you saw, I opted for the sandpaper in the end. It just worked better in this particular situation. The steel was a little bit harder on this axe than the one I did previously, and so the files weren't as effective, although you saw me using the file at the start and it was kind of working, but as I got into the middle of it, that steel was harder, and that's why I opted for the sandpaper. It was just a far easier process. And if you'd like to see another great video such as one you've seen here today, if you'd like to see a video on how to just sharpen any standard axe, do check that out down below. Bye for now.